Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to today's episode. I have a little different episode for you guys today, and we're both excited, right, Julie?
Very, yes.
Okay, you're gonna love it. Today I'm talking to an actual real life Unfuck Your Fitness client, and we're gonna be talking about where Julie started, what kept her stuck, what changed, what actually helped, how long she's been working with me, our friendship, and all the things. So if you are listening to this, I actually get quite a few recommendations for to have clients on here. So I'm excited for everybody to hear this because a lot of you are feeling frustrated, overwhelmed, wondering if you're the only one feeling this way, and you're absolutely not. So I think you're going to love this episode. Julie and I actually, we're friends. Now, I would say I'm friends with a lot of my clients, but Julie's been around a long, long time. So we chat, we text all the time, probably not as much as we actually even want to. So this is going to be fun. I think we're going to laugh and have a good time. So, hey, Julie, thanks for jumping
Hey, what's
on.
up?
Okay. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I guess when I started with you, it was 3 years ago. So I was 44.
That's what I am right now. Look at that.
I know, right? Rocking it.
Stunning.
I married. I'm a work as a nurse practitioner in urology. I don't have children, but I have 3 fur babies who literally are like toddlers. They're Frenchies, all 3 of them.
They are your babies. They're
They
your
keep me
kiddos.
quite busy.
They do. Julie lives in Texas, and someday we're gonna meet in real life, and we're very
I know.
excited for
We
that to happen.
talk about it all the time.
I know.
And
Someday
we're
it's gonna
always on the
happen.
verge of booking something
It's
and
gonna
we don't
and
follow through.
no, we don't, and life happens, but we'll get there. So, yeah, so we've been working together for 3 years, which is crazy. It was almost 1 year. Was it actually April? Yeah, it was right around then. March, maybe?
I think it was March. Yeah.
Yeah. So it
March
was
of
the year
23.
that so it was the year that the podcast took off. I can't think about you without thinking of like where I was in this stage of
Really?
life. When you messaged me, you know that. I was like falling apart. My life was
Well,
seemed like it was falling apart at the same time that the podcast took off, and Julie was one of the first people that messaged me, and I remember thinking like when anyone would message me around that time, I remember thinking, holy shit, I am like crying every day, like I'm a disaster, and these people are coming to me for help. Like, holy shit, just crazy. So I can't think about you without thinking about that moment of just like, how am I going to help these people? Like, what is happening? And then I had to give myself a pep talk, like, you know what you're doing, you're okay. So take us back to 3 years ago, if you can remember, which I'm sure that you can because we talk about it a lot, but if you can remember how you felt, kind of what you were doing, what you had tried up until that point, like kind of give us a glimpse into what Julie was like before you met me.
I was in horrible shape mentally, physically. I had just left a job that pretty much gave me no time to myself whatsoever. I had just been diagnosed with ulcerative colitis, autoimmune disorder of the colon. So I'm trying to battle that, start a new job. But part of the reason I left that job was to get control over myself again. So I
Sure.
knew that fitness was going to be one of those big things. I had put on about 30 pounds, maybe a little bit more during that time frame of my previous job. So I was in a really, really bad place at that time.
Had you just switched jobs? I don't think we've talked about that. I didn't realize that that's when you got diagnosed was like right around then and a job.
Yes, yes. I was diagnosed in 22. So maybe like 6 months or
Okay.
so prior.
Sure. Okay.
And the first medication I got on back then actually put me into remission. So from that
Okay.
standpoint, I was doing
You were okay.
well at that time,
Yeah. Gotcha.
but just mentally in a bad place. Just my confidence over myself was non existent.
Were you
I
working
knew
out at
something
that
needed to
time?
be done. Mm-mm,
You needed
not at all.
no, nothing.
Mm-mm. And
And
I have
macros,
mm-mm,
I don't
nothing.
think you'd had any, yeah.
And that's kind of how I stumbled upon you
Okay, that
was
was my next
I was
question.
I was self-teaching. Body
Okay.
recomp is what I wanted to do. I knew macros was probably as far as diet change of not dieting, but change my
Diet, what you
diet
eat.
habits.
Yeah.
That was probably the best way for me to get started. And so I was trying to self-teach
Okay. So you found the
and thought, let me
podcast,
listen to some
macros.
podcasts. Maybe somebody can teach me this stuff because you get on the internet and you don't know which direction to take. You start
Yeah,
trying to
very
Google
overwhelming.
and search and learn, and it's so much information. And one thing says this, another site says this. And eh, I mean, several days into research, I'm like, I don't know where to go with this.
Did you
So I
feel
thought,
any better after the podcast? Did it help you and then you reached out to me? Or were you still feeling like
yes.
completely lost? You had no handle on it?
No, I found your podcast. What attracted me to it was the title.
Yes.
Literally, that was it. That's what sucked me in. Unfuck your fitness. I thought
You're
this is
like,
for me.
follow, subscribe. I'm in.
I
Perfect.
listened to a few of your podcasts and I don't know. I loved listening to you. I loved how you explained the content and broke it down, and I was hooked.
You were here. Yeah. I remember you
I
finding me
didn't
through the
listen to
podcast
many other
because
podcasts before I stopped on you.
good. I think that's good. It's usually pretty helpful, but I know you were early on. You probably had a year's worth to listen to because I think I think I started the podcast a year previous, but it really didn't take off until like that year. So, you had a year's worth to listen to, but now that
Didn't
seems
you
like such
say
a little
there were like
amount.
70-ish
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
episodes?
Okay. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. So when Julie and I first started working together, and now it's been 3 years. So don't get me wrong. I don't remember every single thing that we started then, but I do remember you just feeling obviously super frustrated, and we still have days, but
Oh
just
God,
super
yes.
frustrated, wanted to lose weight, wanted to understand macros. The very typical when you want body recomp and you don't know where to start, it's really hard because you're like, I do want to lose weight, but I also do want to understand your diet, like you said, and it's really hard to comprehend. Macros aren't difficult. They're simple, but it's not easy. It's very simple once you get the hang of it, but then it's like trying to understand macros and then you're kind of like eating enough and then you're thinking, well, how am I going to lose weight by, eating more or eating enough? Like the information can kind of be, I don't know, frustrating, like you're going around in circles. Is that kind of how it felt for you probably before me and in the beginning?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely, yeah. And then starting with I mean, I guarantee you I was not eating enough. Obviously, what I was
Mhm.
eating was just terrible, awful foods, and with that previous job of mine, I would have to go periods of time. I might have ate breakfast at 8 a.m., but I might not get to eat
Mhm.
again until 5 p.m. So, you're
Wow.
starving, you
Yeah.
gorge, you eat what you can get your hands on, at that point, which is nothing good, but you had me reverse diet,
Yeah.
sort of. So, I mean,
Yeah.
I think you started me out somewhere like 1,600 calories a day. I don't think I've ever ate that much food in my life
No,
in a day's
it took
time.
a while, yeah, to get you
Um,
I
Getting my head wrapped
think
around
to
that was hard.
Yeah. Yeah, that's very common. Definitely people listening to this are gonna well, I've had so many clients even you're not alone in that, as you know, and I wasn't alone in that either. I remember, I think I've said on the podcast before, my cousin once told me, like, I should be eating 1,900 calories, and this was back probably Beachbody days. Maybe I was, like, coming out of Beachbody because that wasn't, like, really working, and I remember kinda going into the if it fits your macros and kinda trying to figure out, like, how I can sustain this, just like you were when you came to me, and so I went to him, and I remember him telling me I should be eating, like, 1,900 calories to get the body that I wanted, and I'm like, "What?" I'm currently eating out of little containers, like eating 1,200 maybe calories. So I know
Right,
that's like the
yeah.
scariest thing for you to say, hey, I want to look better and I want to lose weight. And someone saying, well, you need to eat more is like really, really confusing. It's really
You
confusing.
can't I mean, when you don't really know for me, know the science behind that, I had a very difficult time wrapping my head around that.
Did you trust me right away? I don't remember. I know you did, but I'm sure you were also skeptical. How'd
I
that feel?
did, of course I did, but, I would say extremely frustrated, not at you,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
at like, I wanted results quick. I was
Yes.
tired of being overweight. I was tired of the lack of confidence I had in myself, and I literally wanted a change overnight. I knew that that couldn't happen,
Yeah.
but still yet, that's
Yeah.
what I wanted.
Yeah.
But yeah, no,
That's,
I had 100% trust in you. I
yeah.
never doubted you.
Yeah. Good. Thanks for saying that. No, I'm kidding. I know you didn't.
Never.
But it's
No.
like it's also frustrating. Yeah, I totally get it. It's like you trust the person, but then you're kind of like, well, I don't want to do that. Like, can we do it another way? Like, I want it to be faster.
Right. It
I
doesn't make
trust
any
you.
sense.
I hired you. I believe what you're saying and I'll do it. But also, like, is there an alternative route we could possibly take? You're like, no. So I remember having that conversation with, I mean, we've had those conversations a bunch of different times, but I remember having to have that conversation of like, okay, this is where it comes down to. Like, we're going to have to body recomp here in like a structure. Now that happens like, and I'm going to ask you like, obviously you're at your side of that too, because we're like 3 years in now. So we have a quite a bit of chunk of time there where it was like you were getting used to it, then you started seeing result. Like we went through the whole thing together, which I love. But I remember you wrapping your head around it, like, okay, I'm on board. Like you finally were just like, okay, I'm bought in. Like I know I'm gonna have to eat more. I know I'm gonna have to like go through the process first because as I'm explaining it to you, like, well, you can't keep doing what you're doing. And this is what I have to say with everybody. Like, you can't keep eating what you're eating. Obviously, that's not working. So we have to figure something else out. So there is no alternative route, unfortunately. And it's like once that clicks for people, you're like, okay, I'm in. Like, what do we have to do? But then it's trying to figure out the macros, what kinds of foods you like and are used to eating. Also, what fits into your lifestyle. If you can't eat at your job from 8 to 5, well, then what are we going to do about that? We need to figure out your staple foods. We need to figure out how to get all of that in line. And that takes a while. So I know that took, a while for you, but kind of walk me through if you even remember like what that felt like what you had to do and go through to figure that out.
Gosh.
Well, we did it together, of course, but
It kind of feels like that was so,
I
so long
know.
ago. I mean, it definitely took me a good, I would say, probably, 3 to 4 weeks
Mhm.
before I had established my staple foods, what worked for me, what didn't, in terms of, okay, this takes too long to make in the morning.
Mhm.
I mean, just to get it all going. I mean, it was a month
Yeah.
or so
Yeah.
before I was feeling confident in that, which I didn't expect it to take me that long to get a system
Yeah.
going, I guess, for lack of a better way to say it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, not only are you doing these workouts that you can't really move at all the day after, but yet you've got to keep going.
Can't walk, but do it anyway.
Yeah, I can't walk. I can't sit on the toilet. I can't do anything, but here we are doing this again.
Yeah.
Worrying about the food, like it was just a whole new level of stress in the beginning.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think, like, acknowledging just that it gets worse before it gets better. Not I and I mean that sort of, like, for real. Like, it's not just like you jump in and you're given a meal plan and you're given, not with me, not with any good coach, honestly, are you gonna be given a meal plan and, like, start to see results and understand everything and be able to fix your foods and hit your macros. Like, you can't do it all at once, honestly.
No,
Like, you just can't. So it kind of
no.
feels like it gets worse in the sense that, like, "Oh my god, this is really overwhelming," is what I mean. And then, of course, it gets
Yeah.
better. I mean, it feels good because you have someone walking along with you have a guide, and I'm telling you, it's okay. Like, you're gonna try something this week, you're not gonna hit your macros every single day, and it's fine. It's okay. At work, you have someone to, like, walk along with you, but I know that process is a little
It's
tedious.
daunting.
It's frustrating at times. Yeah,
It
for
is.
sure.
It is.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
always want to know the reason behind
Yeah,
XYZ. I'm a science girl. So
as you should. Yeah.
it's like I'm trying to, okay, I trust you. I know what you're telling me to do, and I'm doing it, but tell me why.
Yeah. Well, I think that keeps people on track. And definitely for you, when I would explain to you in a voice message or whatever, like really explain it to you, you definitely understood it. I mean, you were like, okay, yes, that makes absolute sense. I will. And you are execution. Like, there's something about Julie. If I'm going to tell her to do something, she's going to do it. So
Just
it's
do
fine.
it.
Like, she'll just do it. So I'm like,
Tell me
these are
why.
the new macros.
Anyway,
Just hit them
yes.
this week and I'll talk to you in a few days and explain it. But just for now, just do
Okay.
this. And she would say, okay, that's totally fine. Where did we, so if you, do you remember how far, because you're cutting right now. So what did we reverse you up to? I started you at 16.
16 something. Yeah.
We stopped you right about there,
Yeah.
probably. Yeah. And now
Oh,
where,
wait. You mean, well, that was the highest I ever was at, was
yeah. Okay.
1600 something. Okay.
Yeah. That's what I thought. I don't know where you were when we started. Probably
Oh,
11, 12. I think.
maybe.
No. Yeah.
I mean,
Something.
a good day, maybe
Yeah.
11, 12.
Yeah. I remember it startling me like, "Oh no, honey, we've got to eat." It's
I'm
just
like,
crazy.
"Wait, what?
But it
What?
happens,
I'm overweight
but
and
I'm
I'm
not eating.
barely eating, and you want me to eat
Yeah.
more?"
Which is where the calorie deficit is, like, so confusing to people, which I'm not gonna get into teaching that today. But you know what I mean? It's like, when you say calorie deficit, I'm like, "We have to be in a calorie deficit, but you have to eat more." But that's body recomp for you, so I remember
That
explaining all of
contradicts
that to you,
itself?
right? I remember explaining, like, "Okay, currently, we're not eating enough, so your body is holding on to fat. We need to feed it enough so it'll let go of the fat, but that's gonna take time because I don't want you to jump from 1,200 calories to 1,600 calories overnight because that's not gonna be good, so we have to go slow, and here's the macros you have to hit." I remember that whole process,
So you
but
so you're telling me I'm not gonna be skinny next week?
right, not anytime soon. Maybe 3 years from now. How are you feeling now? Let's pause. How are you feeling now? You're good.
I'm
Yay,
I
so we
feel like
made
a
it.
new human.
I
I
know, it's
am.
so crazy.
I
You
am.
are.
I'm a
You really
totally
are.
different person.
Like, physically and mentally, it's so crazy.
Yeah.
So we reversed you up. We had you doing workouts for build. I mean, I would say we pretty much just reversed you and had you doing not maintenance, maybe. I mean, we didn't have you building and cutting and, all of that at first. We were just kind of getting you up
No.
to a new place where you weren't gaining weight, but you were eating more. And then the scale started to move and you were feeling better and your lifts were better. And a lot of that came into place, which I talk about a lot on the podcast. Like, when you start eating more, you're sleeping better, you're understanding things, you're not gaining weight when you're eating more. So that helps you to also understand, like, oh, okay, I can eat more. I'm not going to gain weight necessarily. So, yeah, kind of walk me through that a little bit. Did that, when it started to like click for you that you were eating more, I think you did really well with that gradually, naturally, just kind of like, okay, these are my macros and this is what I'm eating. But do you remember noticing, like, okay, I am eating more. I am lifting heavier, things like that happening.
For sure. For sure. I mean, I would say for me, it was probably a good, I'm just kind of guessing, maybe 3 to 4 months
Yeah.
before I noticed anything happening. The scale budging, a little baby bicep popping out, or anything.
Yeah. I'm glad you mentioned that. That's about right. I have a lot of clients who will, depending on where you're starting from, if you're not working out and you're not eating enough, right? We have quite a bit of ground to make up. So you sign up for 3 months of coaching and you're like, the scale hasn't moved
Like,
not
wait,
one single mark. But I want another 3 months because you can see what's happening. You understand it and you're starting to get it. But yeah, it takes a long time sometimes, depending on where you're coming from. So I'm glad you
it does. It does. And that
threw
was
that in
probably
there.
as I'm sure it is for most, but that was the biggest thing for me to wrap my head around
Yeah.
and
The
accept
time. Yeah.
the time.
Yeah. I feel like, though, once you did, not that it went more smoothly or that it was really rough, but I feel like once you wrapped your head around that and kind of accepted it, you were good to go. I feel like you were just kind of like, it's not going to be great. You'd take pictures and be like, I don't see any change. I don't see any change in these.
Yeah. Or
But you're still
I feel
there.
like
You're still
my big
showing up.
thing with always the progress pics was what I felt, and what I felt like I saw when I looked at
Yeah.
myself did not reflect in pictures.
Yeah.
Pictures
Horrible.
have
They're
been
so
my
That's
nemesis.
very true. We should probably talk about that because even now you'll send me a picture and be like, "Hey, well, I was trying to get a picture of my bicep, but it doesn't look like anything in this picture."
No,
I get that a lot from
it
people, but
never picks up for me. It's
yeah,
frustrating. But
you're
yeah,
right.
I
It
always
does fluctuate.
my progress pics. Oh my god. I would shed tears over those things.
Yeah. I remember one time you finally set up a tripod or something. I
I
remember us
did.
being very excited about that. You're like, "I finally set up a tripod and they look a little better." I don't
So I
remember.
could get that correct level
Angle, yes.
angle.
Yes, we did have that conversation. I'm like, you kinda because if you're thinking about any photo where the camera is below, a certain no one looks good from a certain angle
No,
where the camera
no.
is below. So I remember having that conversation like, "Okay, we need to get the camera up higher so you see a better angle." That
Oh,
was a
you
little
mean we need
better.
it above my knees?
I don't remember. I don't think you cried that day at least. We made progress.
Oh,
No, but
man.
your progress pictures started to change. I could see the thing about progress pictures is I know what I'm looking for and it's not my body. Now with my own body, different story. I can pick myself
You
apart and be like,
pick
I'm
it
not seeing
apart
any
differently.
change. Yeah. But if it's someone else's body, just like anyone else does, same for someone else, right? Like, oh, you're doing great. But the same thing can happen to you. And you're like, you suck. And it's just that negative self talk. But when I would look at pictures of you, I could see muscles popping through or things changing, composition, but I know exactly what to look for. I know also exactly the process that this is going to take. Like, I know exactly what's coming and how slow it's going to be sometimes. And when you guys don't know that, it's really, really frustrating. So for me, I'm like, oh my gosh, I see change here. And then you'd come back like, do you? Are you
Ew,
sure?
yeah.
I don't see any. I'm not
Like, look
seeing
at
that.
this. This is disgusting. You're like,
Just picking ourselves
look
apart.
at your previous pictures. Look at the
Yes,
change. And you're
exactly.
like,
I know, and now it's crazy to go
okay,
back through.
well,
Yeah, yeah. "Okay, Christy, it's fine," and then, go do your workout. And I'll go do mine. Let's both shut up and go work out. What have you lost total weight-wise? I should pull up your
I
account.
lost, I mean, 30 pounds. I kind of bounced
Okay,
back between the 30 and 35.
okay. Yeah, and gained muscle, and you've body
And
recomped like crazy, but I don't have those stats in front of me to pull up, but well,
yeah,
we could talk about your workouts because if you weren't working out before and now you're working out in your own gym at home and lifting
yes.
heavy, let's actually talk about that. Were you scared to lift heavier at all? How were workouts for you? Because I'm sure I didn't start you off in building, you know, workout
No,
phase.
I don't think I really knew what that meant,
Yeah, probably not.
honestly. I remember talking to you one day and I had gotten oh, what is that thing called? A booty band where
Okay, yeah.
you like
The loop.
strap the dumbbells to the side.
Oh,
Do you know what I'm talking about?
yes,
And
yes,
you
yes.
like
For
put
hip
it on
thrusts.
you type. Anyway,
Yeah, Bella Booty, I think is what it's called.
yes, yes.
Yep,
And like I thought it was the best thing. And it is a very good
it
device.
is
Like it
very cool,
helps
yeah.
me. But you had said you'd made a comment like you can do far more than that amount of
I
weight.
remember
And
that
here I
too.
think this is heavy.
Yeah,
Like this is heavy. And I think I had like 25 dumbbell on either side.
yeah,
And
yeah,
you're like,
okay,
you can do way more than that. That was God, couple nah, maybe it I don't know. I'm gonna guess maybe around a year in
yeah, yeah, agreed.
when I really, I think, started to understand what heavy meant.
Yeah,
So no, to answer your question, I was not scared. I did not
okay,
have a hard time. Once you were like, you can lift more than that. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try this with all exercises.
yeah, good,
And so, but no, I didn't have a hard time once
good.
I
I feel
understood
like
what lifting heavy meant.
yeah, I feel like, again, with that education and, like, why, how, you have to ease yourself into it, of course. You weren't someone that I was just gonna, tell you to go pick up a barbell and start hip thrusting it right away. For many different reasons, but I don't know if you would have even done that, and your form probably would have been terrible and you would have hurt yourself, so we won't even because you no one can just really start, lifting that heavy, I don't feel like,
Heavy.
but yeah, I don't feel like a lot of people that come to me are at the place where they're like, "Okay, I just trust you and I wanna walk through the journey," whatever that looks like, but yeah, now you're lifting heavy and you're doing more structured straight sets, and probably at first you were doing more supersets, but
Yes.
once we figured out for you that you were okay with it taking a little bit longer and you had the path marked out in front of you of like, okay, we're going to stay at this 1600 calories and we're going to start building some muscle. And that will in turn, then you will lose some fat. Your body recomp will change. Speaking of that, when did you get a smart skill? Did you get one just with me or did you have one before? I
I
think you
don't
got it maybe when we
remember.
started working together. I don't
I
remember
might have
either,
already
but
had I might have
okay.
already had one.
Okay. But we really kept an eye on that. I think that was
No,
helpful for you too.
I did, and I ended up losing. I don't know if you
You
remember
had
this.
the
I
Renpho.
had to get a new one because I ended up
Yes.
losing, but I don't know what
Oh, the
happened to it, but
info?
lost all that data.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Yes, the smart scale change. We love that. No,
Mm,
I hate that so
mhm.
much. No, it's been fine. But we did pay a lot of attention to the smart scale. And I think that really helped as it does everyone, honestly, to see like, okay, this scale is not going to move. Like your overall body weight is not going to move for a while. And that's fine. Our goal is to get your body to trust you. And we need to eat well for metabolism and hormones. And we had those conversations of like, this is why it's not going to move for a while and this is when it will again and this is all the things. And I remember just that I would then you'd send me your smart scale check-ins every Monday, Thursday, which hello,
Still doing.
hello, we're still on
Who
track
else?
with that.
Who
We
else
are.
we?
We are
Listen,
very consistent with that. Yeah, yeah, you are. So yeah, she'd send me her smart scale readings and that was really nice because I felt like when you'd have questions, I could answer them right away. Like you would say, or we could go back to your food logs and say, okay, it's more salt. That's why you put this on. It'll go away. Like that was really helpful to have those check-ins for me to be able to calm you down
Absolutely.
or for you to
Absolutely.
just understand. Cause I remember some not breakdowns, but you'd be like, I'm not sending my pic today.
Oh, they were absolute breakdowns.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Absolutely. At
I can
least
call it
on
that.
my end,
Okay.
it was a
Yeah.
breakdown.
Yeah.
And
Definite
still to this
scale.
day, I can't get over I know there's more to that number on the scale. I know that. Now, do I get as
Yeah.
upset as I used to when I see a number that I don't wanna see? I still get upset, but not like I used to. I still can't
Love
get
the
over
honesty.
that number.
Yeah. Which is
Like, if I don't like that first number I see on the scale, sometimes I don't even wanna look at the other data because I'm so
yeah.
annoyed.
You would tell me I got on the scale and I didn't even let it read the whole time. And
Yeah,
I've done the
I
same
do it.
lately, actually, because in a cut phase. And the same thing goes for me. Like when I start, and I've said this on the podcast, I think every spring I say this when I start to cut, it happens so goddamn slow that I will get on the scale and be like, oh my gosh, I had the best weekend. And I get on and it's like the exact same. And I'm just like, I get back off. So I understand. Like I do the exact same thing. Yeah, you would
Mm.
send me that a lot and be like, I'm not, you can have one on Thursday. I'm not sending today's.
Right, right.
Let me get
I
my
honestly
shit together real
just tell
quick.
the scale to fuck off and
And that's fine. We'd say
moving
that's
on.
fine. No, it was so nice though. Before you
Sometimes the
got your new
unknown is better.
scale, yeah, for sure. I could go back and track. That was helpful too to say, okay, well, this is what we've come from. You're doing fine. You're going to be fine. It's like those ups and downs, and we can't expect it to go down every single time. But I know that number is still like, it still is just, it's just a number, but it's
It
still like
is.
just a number that can ruin your whole day or, I mean, it still holds meaning. And now, even I don't know if your worth is tied to it. We don't need to even really get into that necessarily, but it's still sometimes for me, even it'll be like, I worked my ass off and I made really good choices and I walked when I didn't want to, or I lifted heavy when I didn't want to, and like the scale didn't move. Like it still is like, to me, it's more of a reflection of like the work that I'm putting in. And when it doesn't reflect that, I'm like, 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 what
Uh-huh.
do I have to do to get this thing to move? But I just need to like keep doing what I'm doing and it will eventually move. But
It will.
I know the scale was
It for sure
something that
does.
was frustrating. I know pictures were something that was frustrating, but you've come out on the other side. You lost 30 pounds. What's our next let's talk about your next adventure. What's our next goal together?
So, back, I don't know, maybe 3 months ago, I might have the time frame a little bit
Yeah,
wrong, but
okay.
we, started working. I came to you and I was like, okay, I really want good focus on legs, glutes, abs. And that's where I'm still am.
Yeah, that's our
As you know, the
focus.
last few months with my health issues, there's been a lot going on. So I feel like that has slowed my progression down quite a
Yeah.
bit from where I could be had I not had all these
Yeah.
issues. But we're getting there.
Yeah.
We're getting
We
there.
are. We are now. I'd say you goal weight wise? I think
Um,
you're there.
if I stayed this way the rest of my life, would I be happy? Absolutely. But no, I'm not. Still want I want to get my body fat percentage down more.
Okay. Yeah, say it on here, but I don't remember exactly where you're at weight wise. But yeah, and that's going to be that'll be our next adventure is putting on muscle, losing fat, still the body recomp situation. But we've had you at where are you at for calories right now?
I'm sitting at 13 1350, I think,
Yeah. And you've been kind of cutting for a while and you have had a lot of health issues, which yeah, that always throws
with some heavy medications that
a wrench in things.
have
Yeah.
had some awful side effects. So, yeah, it's
Yeah.
definitely thrown a wrench.
Let's we don't need to get into your health issues specifically, but in terms of how because I feel like that's something that everybody deals with is something. It doesn't have to be a health issue, but it can be something that you're going through in the middle of your health journey, right? Where it's like it throws you off track and then you feel like you're not
Yeah.
same with me with my stupid blood pressure, which Julie has walked through that journey with me. I think you're the
Yes.
one that got me to go to the hospital every single time. I don't know. This is how close we are. How did that even happen? Actually, let's back. I think I was just telling you that like I wasn't feeling good, wasn't feeling good. I think you got me to check my blood pressure. Or maybe I told you the blood pressure that I
I
got from the doctor and you were like, that is alarming.
I think you did. You had maybe gone to your dentist or
Yes. Yes.
something.
Yep.
somebody who doesn't deal with it, but they checked it, it was high.
Very
And
high.
then over the
Yes.
course, I think, of a couple weeks, you're like, "I've been checking it. It's still running high." And you had all these other issues associated to your high blood pressure. I'm like, "I think it's time, Christy. You need
Yeah.
to see some."
Yeah. Julia was very, so thank you for that. Julie's the
Even
reason
that
I'm
one
here
night
today.
you
No, I'm
texted,
kidding.
and my husband and I are telling you what to do
Yes.
because your blood
You
pressure
had me
was too high.
putting my
And it
feet
was 2
in
o'clock at night,
cold water or I don't know. You had me doing all kinds of stuff.
or it was hot water. Yeah.
That's right, because my husband wasn't home, Joe wasn't home, and I was bad, I was down bad, I remember. I thought I was having an anxiety attack, which I probably was, but I think you told me to take my blood pressure, and I sent it to you, and you were like, "Okay, like, you need to go to the hospital," but before that, put your feet in cold water and your hands no, your neck. You had me put something on my neck, like heat or cold on my I don't
Yeah.
remember, but you had me
Yeah.
doing something
Yeah. Yeah.
crazy,
Yeah.
and it
That was
and it
something my
helped.
husband told you to do too,
Yeah. Yes.
but
Yep.
we you got it down.
Yeah, I did. Thank you so much. So, yeah, that's been fun. Anyways, speaking of health issues, yeah, it's been rough. And also, I'm very practiced in having that happen. But how does that feel? Like when you've been able to walk through that? I mean, I know it's frustrating, but have you been like, does it piss you off when you can't work out as much? Or are you kind of just going with the flow? Like, where are you at with that now mentally? Because I know before a journey like this, before you kind of understand the things and the timelines, it would be a lot worse, but it's still frustrating.
It is still very frustrating, but I accept it.
Yeah.
It's just it's part of it. I mean, if it wasn't my ulcerative colitis, it would probably be something else. That would so I mean, it's life. It's just life. At the end of the day,
Yeah.
it's life and it happens. And this past week for me wasn't great. Like finally yesterday, I'm like, ugh, whatever. We're just gonna chalk this one up as a loss and next week
Yeah.
will be a better week. In the beginning, that was hard for me to accept,
Hmm.
because I thought if I fall off the bandwagon, if I
Hmm.
do something wrong, it's going to mess everything up. And now I know that's not the case.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like everyone
It
just
just
has something. It's kind of, you think about joining a program or starting anything and you're like, I have to wait till I'm ready or I have to wait till it's perfect and it's just never going to be. We always have
it's
things that are just going to,
no.
throw a wrench in it. But let's talk about that too. Where you were talking about kind of like the all or nothing and like if you fall off the wagon, you fall off the wagon. Was that your mindset before working with me versus now? Yeah.
Absolutely. I whatever I was trying to do at the time, I mean, I would have a day or two that things didn't happen and I'm like, well, okay, fuck it. I'm done.
Off the
This
deep
isn't
end.
working for me.
Yeah. What do
Just
you
give it up.
feel like changed? Do you think macros helped the most with that or just the mindset in general?
But no, I think both play a huge part for me.
Yeah.
Probably I don't know. I mean, macros just works for me. Like I don't feel guilty if we go out to eat. I know how to
Mhm.
handle that. But my mindset from where I was 3 years ago to now,
Crazy.
like
Yeah.
I'm not the same person at all.
Do you eat things now that you didn't eat before? Were bread and rice and carbs in general, like, did you not eat those before? I don't remember
No, I
that
did.
really for you. You did. Okay.
I did. Yeah, I did. I mean, I
Just
probably
more food in general.
ate way more of that stuff than I do now.
Okay. Gotcha. Because a lot of people are the opposite when they, start working with me and I give them the carb amount that they need to have. And they're like, what? Like, I can have carbs, kind of a thing. I don't really remember having that with you so
Mm-mm,
much.
no.
Yeah.
And I was never really that person where I thought like carbs were the devil.
Okay. That's good.
I was never big on no carb Atkins type.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, I think probably if I had to answer one or the other, I would say mindset.
Yeah. Definitely a combo. I think they go together. I think the macros help because it gives you leeway. I mean, here's like a gold number. You know this now. Like, and I don't know if you were I have to hit my macros perfectly kind of person before. Well, you weren't you didn't know anything about macros before. So I guess
Mm-mm,
I guess you weren't. But I never told you you have to hit this exact number and you can't fluctuate at all. It was always like, okay, we're going to start working you towards protein and then we're going to carbs and fats can fluctuate. I remember kind of working on that with you. Like, okay, we can get your fats up or we can put them back down and you can have more carbs and just kind of figuring out what worked for you. That probably was in that window of our trial and error period. But I think just having that flexibility where you'd have a day that wasn't great or something probably and I'd be like it's fine, it's not a big deal, you ate more than you did 6 months ago so I'm happy, just things like that. So I think that mindset piece was probably there where you learned that doing something quote unquote bad or off track wasn't really a thing anymore. Like
Right.
you don't really have it's
Right.
not real. That wasn't real. So yeah.
And I remember one time making a decision, I was like, I think over on my fats by a fair amount. I mean, we're
Hmm.
talking 10, 12, right?
Okay.
And I texted you and said, well, I'm not really sure what to do here. I miscalculated in my head. And anyway, I said, I'm just staying on the lower end of carbs today. And you're like, that's perfect. That's exactly what I
Perfect.
would have done. And I was like, okay, maybe I get this.
Yes, I'm getting the hang of this. Yes. Perfect.
And it just completely for that day well, and I mean, from that point forward,
Sure.
from that aspect, but, like, it did change my mindset for that day because at that point,
Yeah.
I'm thinking, "Well, I screwed everything up
Fuck
this
this
day."
day. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. When in reality, I hadn't.
Right.
It was
Yeah.
just a simple little adjustment elsewhere, and that
Yeah.
was it,
Kind of like, okay.
and I didn't
It's
die.
the same. That's something else. Nothing bad happened. I'm
I
alive, survived.
didn't die.
That's another thing with tracking is like, first, when you track, you learn obviously what the food is kind of worth, right? It gives your food a value, a literal value, not just like a worth in our head, like, is it good or bad, but like, what is this made out of calorie wise? And then broken down into macros. So then you kind of understand that part. And then then when you have those little mess ups of like, oh no, I ate too much of this or I ate too much of that. And for me to correct it enough times that you finally get the handle of it where you're like, I guess, I'll just stay under carbs today. And I say, yes, perfect. That's exactly what I would have told you. And then you have the confidence to say, that's not so bad. I thought I messed up. I didn't. We're good. And I knew how to correct it. Not that that meant you needed to get rid of me right away. Thank you for that, by the way. But like, thank you so much. But yeah, I think that helps a lot in the sense of just like that all or nothing, on track, off track mindset. So that's really good. Same with your workouts. I know at first it was like, well, I'm not going to be able to work out and I'll have to squeeze my workout in here, kind of squeeze it in here and there. And I'm like, just don't do it. Just don't do that one. Just,
Yeah,
just start
yeah,
over next week.
just skip
It's
it or
fine. Yeah,
and I mean, sometimes I
it's
still
fine.
find myself doing that.
Yeah, same.
Yesterday,
And it's true.
I started the workout and realized I should have started 30 minutes sooner. So, unfortunately, I just picked up.
Yeah,
I went did what I had to do, picked up where I left off when I got home.
perfect.
Probably not ideal, but
Yeah, it's not really hurting anything. I mean, once you realize you don't have to be absolutely perfect with all of this stuff, but the only way that you learn that is to go through it. I mean, you have to have someone telling you that you trust that it's going to be fine, but you're also
right.
like, really? But once you're doing it and you can see that it's happening, I feel like that's where a lot of that comes from. So,
And at the end of the day, I have realized that consistency is probably the most important aspect to this whole
everything.
thing.
Yeah,
Not
totally.
perfection.
Which,
There's no
yeah.
such thing.
No, I mean, you were definitely shooting for that. You were definitely shooting for that and some quick weight loss in the
Yep.
beginning when you came to me.
I was. I was,
But we got slow weight loss and
which
a
is
lot
not
of
what I
other
wanted, but
benefits
the
we got.
right it's the
But I
right
got it
thing.
for you, so you're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. I just needed a pat on the back there. No, I'm joking.
You're the best.
Yes. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to ask you about. I don't know. It's just been so fun working with you. I have
Same.
I have quite a few clients that are still with me that are like either in Fit Club or just Julie's a one-on-one. So she's out and we're just really close. It just was meant to be. It was written in the stars and we just text all the time. But
I know. It
I
just and
don't
we just hit it off from the
I
beginning.
know. There are some I don't even know how. There are some people that Aaron that my friend that I
Uh-huh.
have the other podcast with, we're the same. It's just like one day we message each other and we just like never stop talking. And I feel like that's what
That's it.
happened with us. It's just
That's
like,
exactly what
and here
happened.
we are. And no, it's been so fun. It's funny with you because we'll be texting about like just life stuff and then it'll be like, okay, work question. And or it'll be like, okay, life
Right?
question. Or it's
Or
like we
you
have to
you
switch
text me.
gears. No, it's so fun. Or I'll get a picture and be like, oh yeah, check in. It's Monday. Like, it's Julie. It's not a dog picture. It's a workout.
Yeah,
No, but you've
exactly.
truly been doing amazing. Your body has changed so much. And it really
Which
couldn't have without the time. You can't get that kind of a change. Even if you would have gotten fast weight loss, you wouldn't have been happy. That's not what you truly, truly wanted.
no.
It's all meant to be, but truly you have transformed. I'll have to put your pictures up on my stories and my Instagram. Love
Okay.
you.
Oh,
But no, truly you just look so much different. You just are so much different. That's my favorite part is when it clicks like that, where you're like, I think I'll just stay back on my carbs today. And I'm like, perfect. There she is. It's my girl. It's like a proud parent. And I'm like, had a girl. Like
Aw,
it's like no, I love it. It's been so fun though, but you've truly just come a long way and I'm just happy. I'm so happy for you. So we're gonna keep going. I mean, we're gonna keep body recomping. There's never
oh,
like an end. That's
absolutely,
the thing. It's just fun. But I think now you feel
absolutely.
like the sky's the limit. You're like, I want to grow my glutes. I want to, bigger bicep. Like whatever you want now, we're at that place to kind of add those things in and be more specific. Whereas
Yep,
before it was very much foundational and we're going to overhaul the whole thing and this is what you need to do. But yeah, you've always been really good at to like, okay, you tell me what I need to do and explain why
tell me
and
why.
I'll go do it. Yeah. Explain
Tell
why
me why.
and I'll go do it.
Perfect.
So you've been perfect. So thanks for being amazing. And thanks for
Glad I
being
catch
on the
ya.
podcast. I'm so
Of
happy to have
course,
you.
thank you for having me.
Yes. So, all right, guys, you got to meet my friend Julie. I'm so happy. I'm going to have other clients on here too, and I'm really excited. So, hopefully, this just helps you to be able to see in real life what it looks like. It's not the same for everybody. I mean, having an autoimmune disorder, having anything like that. Like other clients, I may have reverse dieted further. Maybe they didn't, start at the same place. Maybe they were eating less. Maybe they were eating more. Sometimes it takes longer. I mean, it's just the journey looks so different for everybody. And I think that'll be the most beautiful part of having here. I mean, I know you guys like my stories, but I think just having different people that I've worked with and that have listened to podcasts and are in the same boat, everybody kind of starts at the same place where we're like, this is what I want, but everybody's journey to get there is so different. So I hope these ladies, my friends, are helpful for you guys too. So I will talk to you guys next week.